What's up everyone and welcome to the club. Today's video is an introduction to the world of sketching. Welcome back everyone and thanks for joining me today. So today's video is a little bit different. I want to set up this introductory video for anyone that's interested in learning how to sketch. The terminology and techniques that we use in previous videos might be a little bit of a challenge for our new viewers. So I want to take a moment to cover some of those fundamentals. Now when we create drawings of landscapes or three-dimensional objects, we use the term horizon line. Now this is the line that separates the sky from the earth, and we use this to help us define the angles of our shapes. Now when I talk about values, I'm referring to the darkest areas of shadows towards the lightest. And in this tutorial, I'll be talking about values quite a bit. Now foreshortening is a little bit of an advanced technique. This is where we distort an object to create the illusion that one part is closer to your eye. In this example, I'm using my pencil, so this area at the front just seems a little bit bigger than the area in the back. And finally, we'll be discussing contour lines throughout this video. This is drawing the curved lines that wrap around a shape or an object. And throughout many of our tutorials, we use contour lines to create volume and depth. Now to everyone that's been following our channel or is new to drawing, there's two areas that I want you to keep in mind. Number one, having a positive attitude is crucial to learning any new skill. Every artist struggles at some point in their drawing career, and one of the areas that separates success and failure is having a positive attitude. And number two is being consistent. If you're serious about improving your art or any skill, you need to practice. And if you don't exercise these two principles, it'll be very difficult to grow as an artist. Let's begin with our first exercise. For this lesson, we're gonna need our sketch pad and a pencil. I'll be demonstrating this exercise using this 0.9mm mechanical pencil with a 2B graphite stick. Let's explore light and shadow by sketching a small circle in the center of a page. I'm gonna start at the very top. Now I just wanna keep our arm loose, and we don't wanna stress out about drawing that circle perfect. Just working our way around. And I can see that I have multiple lines just overlapping to create this circle. Now the more times we practice this, the better it will be. Now from here we want to determine where the light source is going to be. Is it coming from the top left or right? And we're going to define this light source with a small circle. So go ahead and just sketch that in. Now because this is a flat two-dimensional drawing, we actually don't know if that light source is behind our circle or in front. So I'm going to define that in the center. I'm just going to draw a guideline going across our circle in the middle. Just going to lightly sketch this out. So we got the direction of our light. Now here's the area where most people get confused. They think that this light is going to go across and just block off the light from the sides going out from our circle. Now this would be correct if we're looking at a cylinder from the top down, so the light would be blocked along the edges. So we're going to go back and erase those lines on the side because that's not the effect that we want. I actually want to block the light from the surface of the table and the right side of our circle. So we're going to go ahead and just shade in this area on the bottom right, the furthest point away from our light source. And we can just scribble this in. And as we get towards the light source, we just want to fade that out. Now if we take a step back, we can see that we create the illusion of a three-dimensional object from a two-dimensional drawing. Now we want to imagine that the sphere is sitting on top of the table, so the lowest point is right here at the bottom of our circle. Now I want to connect that light source down towards the bottom of our surface. And then we want to extend that line going across and out. Now the area where our sphere touches the surface is going to be the darkest point. So right here, I'm going to stretch this out. Now with the top of our sphere, I'm just going to extend this out. We're going to stretch the shadow out to right about there. Now from here, I can add a guideline going out from a light source towards the side. Just going to lightly sketch out an oval. This is the shadow area. Let's go ahead and darken up the contact point. Now as we go further out, this is where the shadows begin to fade. Let's go back and erase some of those guidelines. And then I'm just going to go back and just enhance our shadows. Again, just darkening up the darkest point. Just scribbling that in. Also across the base of the shadow. Now this simple tutorial is going to teach you the basic principles of light and shadow that you can apply to any drawing. Now we're going to explore the effects of light and shadow with two overlapping objects. Let's start in the center of a page, and again, just sketching out that circle. Again, just staying loose, doesn't have to be perfect. Now anywhere on this page we can overlap another circle. So I'm just going to move this down. I'm going to go a little bit larger just to give the effect that this object is closer to us. Now because this circle is on top of the one on the left, we're just going to erase that area along the inside. Now this time I'm going to place the light source in behind my right shoulder, so it's going to come across and back. So let's start with the darkest area. So this will be the left side. So out here, it's going to darken this up, down towards the bottom, towards a contact point on the table. And we're just going to gradually fade that in, going up towards the top, going up towards this top area, which is the highlight. And again, we're just going to scribble this in. It's not necessary to get too detailed with this, making sure that our values are consistent. So the darkest point on the bottom, and then we'll fade that up. Now we're going to do the same thing across that back circle. So the shadow will also sit on the bottom left, and then fade up towards the top. Now this circle in front is going to cast a shadow across the back circle. So up here, again, we're just going to work with the area that's covered. So this area here is going to be in dark shadow, and we're just going to fade that up. And again, just blending out towards the highlight. Now this area now becomes the darkest area of our drawing. Now we're going to add that contact shadow line. Starting from the bottom of our circle, we're just going to go up and across in an angle, fade that out, darken up the surface, and then fade that out as we get further out from that circle. And this circle in the back is also going to cast a shadow. So we're going to darken that up and go out. Go back and clean up our contours. Now I'm going to show you a way to manipulate light and shadow. We're going to imagine that there's a wall across the back of our spheres. So from the bottom, we're just going to angle the base going up in behind our circle, and we'll continue this up on the right side. Now it wouldn't make sense for the shadow to go across this wall unless it was made of glass. So I'm going to go back and just erase that shadow in behind that line. And what will happen is that the shadow will hit that line and go up. So we're going to go up and almost trace out that circle, going up and then back down. So I just want to darken out the base and then fade that up towards the top. Now I'm going to add another element to our drawing. We're going to place a cube in an angle in front of this circle. So let's start in the back. We're just going to add a little bit of fake perspective. So the bottom edge on the left side goes straight up with equal length lines. And we'll close out the top with an angled line. Now this is the left face of that cube. Now from here we're just going to stretch this across and off our page towards the right. Same thing across the back. I'm just going to see the edge coming down and across. Now if the light source is coming from in behind our right shoulder, this area here will be the darkest value. So we're just going to darken that in. And this is the area that's hit with the least amount of light. And I'll determine that the top of our cube is going to have the second least amount of light. So it's going to go in with a light shade. That means that the front of our cube will have the most light. Now I'm going to mimic the angle of that shadow from this point in the front of our cube, going across, in towards our sphere. Just going to curve the shadow going up and just bending that out. Now the back of the shadow isn't going to start here. It's going to start actually in the back. So we're just going to overdraw in behind. Let's darken up the shadow, going in towards our sphere. And then from the sphere, we're just going to go lighter as you go up. And we also want to just fade that out across the edge. Now, I'm going to finish off with one bonus challenge that you can do by yourself or with friends, and this is an activity where we stack different shapes and objects on top of each other and explore light and shadow. So the first thing we're going to do is establish the ground plane. So from the back, coming down, across, towards the bottom left. It's like drawing a large X across the bottom of our page. Now I'm going to use these two lines to help us establish the base of our cube. So we're going to start by stepping up, draw the back side, step forward, and then draw the front side. From here we're going to determine how long we want this. So I'm just going to go around here. I'm just going to create a little rectangle along the bottom. Now I want to give our rectangle some height. So from each of these points, we're going to go straight up with the same length line. And it'll close off the top with that same footprint we have across the bottom. So let's start with the front edge. Go across the back, the front, and then the back right. Now I'm going to place a little tower across the back of our rectangle. So up here, come across, again, just following that same line towards the back. And we're just going to repeat that same process. From each of those 4 points, we're going to extend a line going up, draw the same length line going up, close off the back, front, and sides. Let's trace this along the inside. So we draw a smaller cube to create our tower. And again, it's just a matter of just repeating those same processes. Now I'm going to do something a little tricky. I want to add a little ramp along this left side. So from here, go across. We're going to start with the footprint of our ramp. So this little rectangle. Now from here, go up. Just going to stop the ramp about there. And all we have to do is connect this point at the back to the top with an angled line. Do the same thing at the front to create a little ramp. Now at this stage, our drawing might start to feel a little bit cramped, so we're going to go back and erase some of these guidelines. Just going to go in between those main lines of our shapes. So we just want the contours. And I'm going to keep these lines across the bottom going outside. And then I'm going to go back and just darken up our contours. Now if you're interested in drawing cityscapes, this is sort of the foundation of where you'd begin. You start with the basic shapes first and start chiseling away some of the details. Now I'll give you an example. In this face, we're going to create a little tunnel. So it's going to determine the width of the tunnel, going up along the side. Again, starting with the face first. I'm just going to round out the tunnel across the top. Now I want to show that this tunnel is deep. So from this point, we're going to go across, using that same angle line, going in. Now if we're to position the light coming from the top, coming across, this area inside the tunnel will be the darkest, starting along the top, and as you get down towards the bottom, the light across the surface will sort of touch the bottom, just reflect up. So it'll be a little bit lighter across the bottom. Inside the tunnel across the floor, again, it'll be dark in the back and get lighter as you come in towards the front. Now because the light's from the left, because the light's coming from the right side, anything on the left will be a bit darker. So let's darken up the left side of each shape. Now we're going to determine the direction of the shadow. Now I'm going to start with that main shape first. Starting from this point, the light's coming from the top. So I'm just going to push the shadow across and back in that direction. So from each of those corners, we're just going to extend this line out, including this ramp. I'm going to go out from this point and that top cube. Now let's start back here. Let's darken up the shadow, and as you go further out, we're going to fade that shadow out, including the back. So the shadow is going to go from behind a rectangle. Now the face of this rectangle is going to cast this shadow, so we're going to end that shadow right about here. Draw another straight angle line going out, and then back, and they'll erase that area outside that shadow line. Now this ramp doesn't have any height at the front, so we're just going to angle that shadow up and back. Darken up that shadow in the front. Now Now the one thing you want to keep in mind is that shadows get blurrier the further we go away from the object. So up here, I'm just going to fade this out. Just going to soften that edge. Just want to blur that out. And it gets sharper as you come in towards the object. Let's add a flagpole across the top. So we're going to start with those two lines, just add some thickness, add the base across the center of our square, add a circle for the mast at the top. Now we're just going to follow that same shadow line, going across and back, give it some thickness, again going a little bit darker across the base, and then just feathering that out. Now this shadow we're going to follow all the way down and out. So right here, we're going to see the tip of that shadow going up. Just going to blur that out. We also want to follow this shadow from this cube in towards the ramp, go up and across and then down. Let's darken up that shadow and then fade that out. Let's cut that shadow off across the top and go back and clean that up. Now I'm going to encourage you to keep practicing this technique by adding some more objects and shadows. And you can also experiment by carving out interesting shapes out of your existing objects. I hope you enjoyed today's introductory lesson on light and shadow using basic geometry. I want to thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one. What's up everyone, and welcome to our club memberships. Are you ready to take your art skills to the next level? Well, I've got something special just for you. Introducing our channel membership, starting at only $1 per month. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you'll get exclusive access to a world of bonus features and perks that will enhance your journey with me. As a member, you'll be treated to brand new weekly tutorials that are available only to our valued members. Want to learn the latest techniques and dive deeper into the topics I cover? This is your chance. You'll also gain access to our member-only community feed where you can connect with fellow members, share your progress, and participate in exclusive polls. Your voice matters, and I want to hear from you. And let's talk about the perks. You'll receive a set of custom chat emojis to use during our live streams and premieres, adding a personal touch to your interactions with me. Plus, you'll proudly showcase your support with special member badges that highlight your dedication. As a member, you'll get access to future perks I roll out. I'm constantly working behind the scenes to bring you even more exclusive content, surprises, and experiences. So join our channel membership today and become a part of our exclusive community. For just $1 per month, you'll unlock a world of premium content, engagement, and fun. Click that join button now and let's embark on this exciting journey together.